Hi everybody, Coach Page here. I want to walk you through the basics of Pulse. If it feels overwhelming, it's just because you don't know where to start, so I'm going to explain it step by step. I'll start with bare minimum and then trickle in some of the cool stuff. So this is your homepage. This is overview. This is what you'll see when you log into Pulse. As a full-time client, you have access to a client portal. Only paying clients get this. You can access it at the top on mobile. It will say client portal, or in the menu, which is the top left corner, client portal. So this is where you're going to find everything coaching related. So any shared documents that you and your coach have, you can also upload documents on your end. So if you've got blood work to upload, for example, or share with your coach, you can do it that way. Check-in status is where you'll find the day your check-in is due. It will always say it in this yellow box. If you need to submit it early for some reason, you can just go to submit check-in. That applies to weekly and monthly check-ins. If you have a monthly check-in, it will say the day of the month that you'll be checking in. Feedback thread is all of your responses from your coaches. So now you can see all of the check-ins you've ever sent and all of the responses you've ever gotten. So Loom videos are never lost. Right here is a weight graph. I'm not sure why it's not showing up right now, but this is a graph of your weight. You can upload pictures right here. You can add quick notes, any nutrition plans that your coach has sent you, and any training plans that you're currently actively doing will show up there. Also any consultations if your coach utilizes that. Back to the home page, which you can get to by clicking on the icon in the top left. Anytime you see a gear, that means it's customizable. You can also right-click everything, almost everything. But by right-clicking the recovery status, if you're on mobile, it's a long press. You can get right to everything that is in the recovery center. I'll get to that in a minute. Today's actions is also customizable. This is where you'll be able to log your weight every day. It will say log body weight. But you can also add to it by going to the plus sign in the bottom right corner and going to set reminder. You can set any type of reminder that you'd like and then have it repeat daily, weekly, or monthly. The plus sign is your friend. So bare minimum, we would love to see from our clients, aside from our check-ins, the check-ins that you're sending us, we would love to see nutrition, we would love to see water, and we would love to see bowel movements. Now that's bare minimum, but we've got to get at least those three things started. You can access all three of those from the plus sign. So let's go back to this plus sign. You'll see log bowel movement. So in 3 clicks, you can log a bowel movement. Plus sign, log bowel movement, log. You can adjust the type. This is actually helpful. If this is accurate, it will help with our recommendations. For example, if your stool is trending more constipation, we can make recommendations more specific to you. But if you're in a hurry, just track it. Doesn't matter. Log bowel movement. The plus sign is also where you'll find log water. This is something we want you to do every time you finish a water bottle. So for example, if you finish a 45-ounce water bottle, you're going to type 45 and log. And it adds up throughout the day. Let's say you run to your kitchen and you had a quick 10 ounces of water with some supplements, you do 10. You can find all of your water that you've logged up here in your nutrition. We'll get to nutrition in a second. And all of the water that you've logged is at the bottom. Lastly, I'm gonna go over nutrition because this seems to be the biggest change for most people, and we get it. It is different from MyFitnessPal and Chronometer, but it's not worse. Bear with me. Plus sign, there are 2 easy, quick tabs. First, you can go right to log nutrition, and this is a quick add pop-up. Or you can go to the plus sign and go to analyze food photo. 2 situations I recommend this for. 1, if you are out and tracking as you go throughout the day and you have a plate of food in front of you. Take a picture of everything, including the drink. Give it context. exactly what's on the plate. You can copy and paste a menu description. You can turn on the microphone and do talk to text to describe what you're eating. If you can give it amounts, even if you're estimating, do that. The more information, the better, and it's pretty accurate. The other way to use the Analyze Meal feature is by taking a picture of the nutrition facts of something. So you're not going to do a picture of the barcode. You're not going to do a picture of the front of the box or the package. You're going to take a picture of the nutrition facts because that's where the information is. And then you're going to use the box to tell it what it is, to give it context. So take a picture of a cereal box, the nutrition facts, multigrain Cheerios. Let's go over a couple things for logging nutrition. You're going to go to Quick Add. And the best place to go is to the search. When you go to search, you'll first see recent. These are all my recently searched foods. There is a database search similar to how you would search foods in MyFitnessPal and Chronometer, but they have decades of information, and Pulse was invented this year. So stay tuned for that to grow. You're always, for now, going to go to AI search and toggle on the web search just to broaden the search radius. And the way you want to think of entering things in Pulse is you're saying exactly what you had to eat, or what you're about to have to eat, or what you plan on having, and you're getting the macros back. As opposed to in Chronometer or MyFitnessPal, you start general. Maybe you type in sunflower seeds, and then you look for the more specific entry that says roasted salted, and then you make sure you find the brand. And then you change the unit to grams, and then you type in 30. In Pulse, you do everything all at one time. As much information as possible so it's accurate, including the serving size, which you can go back and change later. So for example, sorry, my brain's not working. So I've got the brand, I've got the amount, because let's say I've already weighed it out, or that's what I'm planning on having. Roasted salted sunflower seeds. You're going to hit search. It's going to pop up. Notice that this already has the 30 grams listed. You're going to click it, and you're going to save it. Breakfast, you can change that to snack. Save. Now, let's say you actually only had 20 grams. You're going to go back to the snack. You're going to hit the edit. You'll see that the unit says 30. There's 30 grams. You're not going to change the grams here. You're going to change the servings. And underneath, there's going to be the grams listed. So if we only had 20 grams and this says 30, I'm going to see what 0.7 is. Okay, so 0.7 made it 21. I'm going to see what 0.67 is. Okay, that made it 20. A little bit of trial and error. 20 grams is now what it will be tracked as. Save. Let's say you are doing a smoothie, something like a plate of food or something that has multiple ingredients. We're going to go to search, AI search, and you'll notice that there's a thing on the right that says add line. So I'm going to do 1 banana, add line, 1 scoop UMP protein. And just for the sake of time, I'll just do one more ingredient. And you're going to search for all 3 on 3 separate lines. You're going to add selected. And then you can save 3 separately or combine the meal. If you combine the meal, you cannot edit each ingredient later, but it will show up as one, full thing. I recommend always saving separately, because that's how you would do it in MyFitnessPal and Chronometer anyway. And let's say you actually don't have a cup, you ran out and you had about 3/4 of a cup, so you can go back to the frozen mixed berries, go to edit, 1 cup, let's say 3/4 of a cup, about 0.75, save changes. Let's say you don't even want to mess, actually I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's say you always have these sunflower seeds in this amount. Let's say you always, 30 grams is just the perfect amount of sunflower seeds when you have them. You can go to, you can't do it from a new one. I'm going to redo it. So search, this is when you're entering a new food. So I'm going to do my sunflower seeds again. search. There's my entry. I'm going to click on it. So you're here, and again, this is where you can change like when you're having it. Before you hit save nutrition, see it says save as template. This means you can create a saved food. So I'm going to toggle this on, and this is the meal name. So this is what you'll search for. So I'm going to put 30 grams. So I remember this is my 30-gram sunflower seed entry. And I'm going to save it. Now, when I go to quick add, I can go to saved instead of search. And here is my 30 grams sunflower seeds. You can tell I do this example a lot. 30 grams sunflower seeds. Here's the cool thing. Once you have a bunch of saved foods, you can go to select and just start clicking. Add 5 to builder. You can then even say, okay, well, I actually didn't have 100 grams of this. I'm going to edit this one. Let's actually save it first. Save 5 separately. And let's go back to the Uncle Ben's. Let's say I didn't have 100 grams cooked. You can do the same thing. Maybe I had 80 grams. Maybe I had more than that. Maybe I had 150 grams, 1.5. And then you can save. That's also how you can adjust the amounts of things to try to hit your macros for the day. Okay, now let's say you don't want to track anything in Pulse. You're just not into it and you want to keep tracking Chronometer or MyFitnessPal. You can. Here is the easiest way to do it. Every day that you have tracked in one of those other apps, you're going to take a screenshot at the end of the day. Here's an example screenshot of random meals in Chronometer. Notice it also has the date at the top. So this was from November 22nd. You can go to this chat bot in the corner underneath the plus sign, add the picture, add the screenshot from that day, say, make me entries for these meals. And you'll notice that it does it. And at the very bottom, you can click on Save All Meals. Now it will save this to November 22nd. You get a notification at the top, all 7 meals have been saved. You can then click on the date, go back to the 22nd, and there are all my meals. It's double logged because I've done this before in another video. It's pretty cool. So the easiest thing to do is screenshot your log from the app that you'd like to use and throw it in Pulse if you want your nutrition information in Pulse. To quickly go over training, at the top you'll also have a training tab. If you're working with your coach, if your training is handled by your coach, all of this will be done by them. This is where you can access your training that they've already given you. So your program will be assigned. It'll be at the top. This is a week view. At the top here, you can click on monthly view. I'm just going to go back to last month, and you'll see when your workouts are scheduled. You do have the ability to drag and drop workouts to different days. So if the program populates like the 4 training days on days that you can't train, just move them to days that you're training. When you click on a workout to do it, this is the workout started. You'll see that this is where you'll start entering your reps and weights. When you click on a workout and you click on the details, you'll get an instruction video, a place to put notes for that particular workout, a progress graph, and everything you've done in terms of recent sets, so reps and weights that have been used and the dates. That's for every workout in here. At the end of your workout, it will also ask you how difficult the workout was. It'll have you rate things like strength and focus and preparedness, readiness, and it pays attention to all that information. So, bare minimum, All we need from you is in the client portal, you've got your photos, you've got your check-in, you're logging your weight from today's actions, and bare minimum information should be bowel movements, water, nutrition, and of course training if you're paying for that. Let's say your coach is not doing your training. Really quickly at the top, you go to training. I'm going to go through this quick. Generate new program here at the top. Library in these small ones at the top. Master library in purple. And you'll see there are 12 pages. You can filter by different things. I recommend not filtering by too much. The best thing to do is probably frequency. How many days per week can you realistically stick to? That's the one that you should click, and all of the programs now are only 4 days a week, which you'll see frequency here. You can't go wrong with any of these. These are not AI generated. These have been created by the P2 experts. When you click on it, you'll see schedule down here at the bottom. You'll pick the day you want it to start, and it will show up in your training in the place that I just showed you. Right here. Couple extra things really quick. If you haven't done this already, please, please, please go to your profile and make sure all of these settings are personalized, that they are exactly what you want them to be. Training preferences, nutrition preferences, including I'll never eat fish, I don't like asparagus. The more specific, the better. Try not to cut out like all veggies because it can suggest meal plans that maybe include foods in ways that you've never thought of. But if you know that you would never have something with peas in it, then you can add it to your meal preferences or allergies or dietary restrictions. We recommend connecting as much as you can. Another thing that we often recommend is downloading Google Fit onto your phone, even if you're an iPhone user, and then connecting it to Pulse, because that's one of the easiest ways to have your steps auto-populate, even if you never even go back into Google Fit. So we recommend Google Fit no matter what, and then connect anything else that you have. Back to the menu in the top left. If you go to Recovery Center, you'll find the extra stuff that is also really important for coaching, but maybe the second, thing that you dive into. This is where you can log your sleep. Again, very important. You can log your stress. You can even go as far as doing journal entries and meditations, timed meditations, which I love. Sometimes I tell clients to consider Pulse like a touch base, like at the end of every day. If you're not great about planning ahead or tracking every day, you go to the end of the day, or you go to Pulse at the end of the day and you do this check-in, right? Like your pictures are in there, your weight is logged from the day. What was my water intake for the day? Did I have a bowel movement? Let me log all of that. Let me screenshot, these other apps that I'm using for my nutrition and add them. Let me do a quick journal entry and a meditation and go to bed. Don't give yourself an excuse to not have this stuff filled out. And then for menstruating clients, there is a cycle tracker right here where it'll just click on it, add your symptoms, and it will help track like fertility and all of that too. The best thing to do to get familiar with the rest of it is to just click around. There's so much more that Pulse can do. The chatbot has so many capabilities. I also encourage you to start entering some data in here and then go to the plus sign and do a pulse check. I'm not going to show you what it does because it's going to blow your mind. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially midday, because it will call you out on your bullshit. I hope you start to love Pulse as much as we all do. Again, bare minimum, we need at least some of that initial data. And if you have any more questions, we have a full playlist of Pulse videos, demonstration videos in YouTube, and you can always ask your coach. Thanks.